my cage to be on Mercury's and Zhong
I can
Kui's
see
in the
that.
early game.
I can see that.
And because I want something else kind of frontliney and damagey from my solo lane right now, because currently you've got a Geb for your backline, which feels pretty good. Your Yanis usually doesn't need too much peel, so he can kind of just run away. So I'm looking for a big spanking team fight hunter.
I'm thinking
I'm looking for. Then I want an oppressive, angry in your face frontliner from the solo lane.
Oppressive, angry frontliner. I'm looking at. Well, I mean, Cullen's been banned away, so is the Achilles. So interesting as well. We see the Ratatoska ban coming out from Urok. Cancel that.
I like that.
They're really still. They're not convinced that this Odin is either jungle or solo. So they're just banning things that work for both of them. And I really like that decision making there.
Yeah, Rat fits the bill of aggressive in-your-face solo laner, and he also fits the bill of aggressive in-your-face jungler. And I like the Medusa here. I think this fits perfectly.
Team fight.
It's a team fight ultimate, and they're looking for AoE burst damage right now because Giannis has a lot of good things about him. He pushes 2 and good stuff happens, but then he's on cooldown for 8 seconds or 6 seconds.
Yeah, what are you doing between that time? That's where Medusa autos come in. That's where Viper Shot comes in, Petrifying Gaze, all these sort of things can set up for it. And it's also as well, it kind of helps in that earlier side of fighting. Medusa, if she gets a little bit of a lead, if she can pop off, then you can really abuse that. As you see the on her lock-in, which can do very similar sorts of things in terms of early game fight potential.
Anhur is a little more single target. Medusa is a little more AoE. So, and I like the Anhur pick here because Urok Cancel That has good amounts of AoE. They've got Zhong Kui damage. You know that is probably the biggest AoE in the game, next to like Earthshaker from Vulcan. He just holds W, and all around him is damaged.
Yeah, and this
pick here though.
It's their last pick potential. They have. That's the nice thing they have. They have the AoE burst potential with the Zhong Kui. They need to pick a mid there. We'll pick Guan Yu, which means that this is a Zhong Kui mid. And that turns everything on its head that we've been talking about, this Zhong Kui for the solo.
I don't think so.
I think somewhat.
I've been talking about Zhong Kui mid.
Fair enough.
Well, Zhong Kui mid does a lot of damage and a lot of AoE.
It does. It is a lot of damage potential, and it's still good kind of control. As we see the Circuit coming out, really nice idea. As much as the Odin is good for the anti-heal, just sticking that where the Guan Yu is going to be, I like this. Also as well, just having that Circuit, the mobility is great. The pressure that's going to enable you in mid is still pretty good. Not great into Zhong Kui, just because if he is going to be very tanky target in terms of the amount of health he's building, that true damage.
Have a percentage health passive. So that really helps her shred down the Zhong. And I'm not convinced, for what it's worth, that this isn't a Guan Yu support Athena solo right now.
You make another excellent point. We still don't know fully where any of this is going. It could be an Odin. It could be Geb solo, Odin jungle, Circuit support, for all we know.
I would like that better than Odin in the solo lane.
Because you want to see that Odin use that cage more often and more around the map.
Cages only help you if they're caging things. And if you're caging a Guan Yu in the solo lane, he's still going to do Guan Yu things when he wants to rotate. So I'm really not overly sad wherever any of these characters go. I think there's a lot of possibilities here.
Okay, then quickly before we just cut to a quick break to get things set up, who do you think's winning this game 1?
Yeah, I got to give this one to Urok Cancel That. They've got Athena taunts, they've got Zhong ults, they've got Guan heal, they've got Mercury just to kill the backline, and I just don't see enough punching damage coming out from Deflalpods if they get slightly behind.
All right, then. Well, that's the predictions here from us. We'll be right back in a second once we get things started in-game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're in game 1 of You Rock Cancel That versus Deflalpods here at the semi-finals in the EU side of the Smite Little League. And we were mentioning just off stream that you said a very important statement, Illy. You said Deflalpods got out-drafted.
I think
that
so.
is a big statement. That is a big statement.
What I'm seeing is that You Rock Cancel That got what they wanted, which was they wanted an AoE mage and a single target assassin with a single target self-peel hunter. Basically, Athena and Zhong and Guan can all dive fairly safely, and Anher can generally take care of himself. The tricky part is going to be for Deflalpods is, can they kill the Zhong? Can they kill the Guan? Can they kill the Athena? Because I don't think they're ever going to get to Anher.
Indeed. Well, we saw yesterday in things like the SPL, we saw it actually becoming less about picks for like your damage dealers. It's actually mostly all on who kills the enemy support first, less about anything in terms of the damage dealers. And these Guardians can get blown up fairly effectively. We saw it happen. It wasn't Athena, it was a Sylvanas. Geb, slightly different situation. So you see them taking a little bit of poke right now in the duo lane. Acid Spit will do good work. But it's already You Rock Cancel That who are already looking in the aggressive position in this duo lane.
And you kind of expect that when you pick Geb.
Yeah.
And Athena has great level 1 clear as well, though she's going to elect to dash straight into Medusa. She's taking tons of poke, lost about half her health to the minion wave there. Jean-Phi is playing extremely aggressive right now, but Medusa is poked out pretty low as well.
And this is kind of what you expect when you have a low clear lane. Good knock up, though. Pushes Athena to just under 100 health, but health pots will keep her ticking. Would have liked to have seen that dash go through the minion wave and then try and hit Axel, more so than just onto Axel, because Alex, sorry. It just doesn't felt like it did quite good enough work mid lane. Little bit of poke backwards and forwards over on the right side mid camps. I believe they split one apiece. Zhong now putting a little bit of poke out, doesn't actually get
Zhong's really
damage.
pushed up, though. That's his beads preemptively. Serket is pushed up, doing a little bit of damage with the Deathbane, but a good Mercury special delivery. So close! Wait, that's not what that's called, is it?
It is special delivery. It's special delivery. He almost delivered himself. Yep, his 3 special delivery. Good damage coming out from Popeye on the Unstable Vortex, but he pushed away the Mercury. Both of them used beads, and now they're going straight for this invade. I love this. Love the call to go for the invade. It's a bait.
This is how you win games. You get the invade. And right now, the Zhong's going to get caught out with the Serket taunt, but Deathbane's still down from the red buff. This is a ton of good pressure. Special delivery forward, and a great Janus portal to block off the path.
Good blink in response, but now they've got to wrap around from the duo lane. But it doesn't look like any of them are going to be able to do anything. They could get themselves caught out here if they're not careful. Anher will disperse away back to the lane, but it's a purple buff invade. Well, no, it's actually the minions that followed them. I thought they were going for a purple buff
great
invade.
impale into the Medusa. The Geb shield already expended there, but back into the minion wave. This is a very aggressive start from Deflalpods, and this is what they need to do, because they've got a pick comp with Serket and with Janus.
And they've already gone off to a good start. Already a level lead for the Serket. She's made her way over here. Athena has dashed already. Cobra's Kiss is good. Sprint isn't good enough to get Jean out. And so First Blood goes the way of Deflalpods. Can't quite find a secondary kill. Is on her position herself far enough away. But you saw what happened there. At least ward coverage from this early Geb, who elected to go for a Chalice of the Oracle right at the beginning of the game.
And really, that wasn't so much ward coverage from Deflalpods as it was Athena just dashed into a minion wave with no knowledge of where the jungler was. Last seen in duo side jungle. You can't do that. You got to play a little more safe there, especially when you're at such low health.
Very true. Well, they will get themselves a purple buff to boot along with that. Gold lead now stretching at 800 in the first 3 minutes of this game.
Mercury, meanwhile, on the right-hand side, looking for a potential gank on the Odin. He jumps in place onto the minions.
That's what he was waiting for.
Special delivery right into the one. That's a shell coming out from the Odin, but the Prot Shred is good, not crazy. Slaughters Dwarven Corrupted 1 for 1. Return kill.
Really good work. Really good work from VEL Me Daddy. He waited around that corner waiting for the jump. There was no reason for him to go anywhere in near that lane until that jump was expended. He was waiting perfectly and patiently. And right as I was about to say how the solo lane's been fairly quiet as well. It's Caster's Curse. That's preemptive. Caster's Curse is what that is.
Well, it's dangerous now in solo lane. Like you mentioned, breastplate is more expensive. So both of these characters have elected to go breastplate. They didn't start with as many pots as they're probably used to. So you can take a little more poke and you can get a little lower. You might play a little more aggressive. But at the end of the day, if you get CC'd and you're still level 4, you might be dead.
Yeah, this is also a very awkward situation. Odin tends to have an okay time in the solo lane in so much that he just destroys an entire wave almost entirely. But in these earlier stages, Guan Yu is sort of accentuating that low clear by healing his minions up as well. So basically removing Dwarven Corrupted's clear for these early few levels. Until that Raven Shield is high enough level to completely clear the wave, he's just going to have to sit further back. But we do see a good use of the ring comes down. Circuit's made the rotation. Guan up on the horse, trying to find just some peel for himself. Cobra's Kiss and Last Breath have been used. The dot damage. He jukes out the ambush, though. No, he gets out. What? No. No, you can't do that.
We take those, I think. He used his Circuit ult very, very early. Mercury's gonna Sonic Boom into the right lane, special delivery onto Circuit.
Look who's returned. Look who's returned.
Back. He's gonna get his revenge. VL me daddy claims the life of Crystalia, and 2-1. You rock cancel that.
It was going pretty well. They even expended the Yanis ult, but just not able to get through in time. It was very well timed ult from the Last Breath. It stopped the stun from Not Crazy, but still Odin got caught by that as well, and as a result just wasn't able to do anything. The cavalry charge immediately after the ring came down, as he's getting punished even further. Dwarven, you can't do that. You can't. You just got to sit back now. You can't jump in front of Not Crazy, because that is crazy.
Indeed, and now this is scary because Mercury had been pushed down. Potpie the Great was farming very well in mid and had a lead. He still has a bit of a lead, but now this Mercury is topping the net worth charts right now. End of the world, but it is scary. Actually, Circuit's gonna catch him lazy backing.
Oh, missed one basic. Ambushes into the tower, and then gets blinked away. Zhong now looking for the follow-up. Order tower will get the kill as Recall Demons has been popped. Torn from Athena, picks up Potpie. Ooh, that was aggressive coming out from Crystalias. But too much aggression. That's
sometimes you have to just accept that you missed a kill, you dropped it, they're alive now, and you could just walk away. It's okay. You can still kill your camps. You can still get farm in other places. You don't have to kill the players.
Pretty awkward situation. And that's the second ambush that has been missed in that situation. We see them drop a kill onto Not Crazy because of a missed ambush / basic. And there again onto the Mercury. And like you said, sometimes you do just have to cut your losses. Better that you don't die than they do. The small silver lining on this is that it was the Order Tower that got the kill. It wasn't actually a player, so it was just the assist gold that they got for it.
True, and his entire right jungle was down when he died. Granted, his left jungle was up, but he didn't miss an entire jungle rotation from that. As there's 3-man grouping here on the purple buff in left lane, this could be some aggression coming out.
Could potentially look for it. VEL is just hiding around the corner, looking to actually go away from that. The buff has been dropped now, so he's just going to move on back. But mid camps, look at the ward coverage already coming out from these two teams. These wards all been centralized around these mid camps right now.
And so far, Potpie has been getting the majority of these mid camps, which is definitely to his credit. As Giannis to confirm above a Zhong Kui can be difficult sometimes. You certainly have to time the ability correctly.
Indeed, you do. It's an awkward situation as Jan has appeared to have DC'd right now, expecting a pause to come out, but we can use this time to talk a little bit. You mentioned that Deflalpods need to win this early, and they started to do so, but what do they need to be looking for now that they have sort of lost a little bit of the lead that they were trying to build up?
Well, if at the end of the day, they need to find picks.
But who are you thinking they're looking for these picks on? Is it going to be that they try and shut down the Mercury? Is it just they keep trying to go into the solo side of things? Because that's where a lot of this has been right now. As you see, a little bit of grouping. Doesn't seem like you rock cancel that. I'll get a pause. But as soon as I say that, guess what comes out, guys? It's the pause. But we will be right back when we get that pause sorted, so don't go anywhere. Apologies for this. You can blame Jan for his toaster of an internet. Both our end and in the game. So 9 minutes in, game is basically even. If you take a quick peek at the graphs, it's just shy of 1,000 experience and 400 gold in favor of UROC cancel that. But with their later game draft, this does work in their favor if they can at least hold even through the earlier stages of this game. Gold Fury was being looked at in so much as the Oracles are, and they do go the way of the Deflalpods. So I'm wondering, the first Gold Fury I think is going to be very telling as to how these teams feel themselves. If UROC cancel that, come in and start looking at the Gold Fury early on, then they're in a really good position to close this game out, I feel.
They've got tons of objective damage, but it's quite possible that if Deflalpods plays this correctly and tries to fight maybe a red buff or buff invade and ends up and hold that thought though, Serket going on the Guan Yu, Athena ult's coming out, Defender of Olympus, very powerful. It's now a 2v3 and Pot Pie is deleted.
Very quick work there. Sweet Cold just pops the ult of the Athena coming straight back in. They saw that his portal had already been used, so there was just no way he was getting out of the special delivery. Also used just to keep them in place. Geb Cataclysm comes through, pushing very low. VEL Me Daddy, though, ends up picking up the kill before Athena can get fallen down. Now just getting CC'd and controlled is Fluffy Doom. That was just disgustingly well-timed CC. Nobody saw that ult, VEL Me Daddy. Nobody saw it, don't worry. I've done it as well.
You know, that's... You just can't walk there, you know, if you're Fluffy Doom. You just got picked in mid. It's a 2v3. And it's so hard to be controlled enough that you don't walk into 3 people and die. And he tried to Gebel. They thought they could make a play with Deathbane. And... I'm there with it. You know?
It was the target focus as well. It started off well. You saw Geb Cataclysm comes in, Crystella comes in with a 3-man zigzag on the Deathbane, pushes Jean incredibly low, and then just ends up in a situation where he just doesn't die in the end. Right. Mercury just punching incredibly hard, just tears down the enemy jungler, and then it's a 3v1.
It's just really tricky. I mean, Deflalpods has a team that fights really well when they outnumber you. And they try to outnumber you by using a Giannis ult, and they want their Odin to rotate early. I mean, that's why you pick an Odin. But the problem is, UROC cancel that has a great team fight comp, and they want to rotate early, and they want to group early. So it's going to be really hard to catch them out alone.
Indeed, not to mention as well, they're not crazy having a bit of a level lead as well. And with as well, not just a bit of a level lead, but also has that teleport available, that mobility potential. If they really need to and he has teleport up, he can teleport into mid lane via the tier 1 tower or duo lane via the tower. But Oracles do go the way of Deflalpods again. Mid camp's taken away this time by Mercury, and VEL has been doing a lot of good work in terms of just making sure that these camps aren't going uncontested. They are always at these timers. They've really picked up on that. Because you mentioned before that Pot Pie had been getting a lot of these mid camps uncontested. Right. Now, where's VEL every time they turn up? Right there.
And that's one of the telling points for the game starts to turn. And you look at VEL's ward coverage. They've got a sentry on the bottom right. They've got that's actually normal. It's a sentry from Deflalpods, the bottom lefts. There's a sentry on the left mids.
It's really, it's really important ward coverage.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about ward coverage, though. Looking in the middle of the Gold Fury pit, not only do the Deflalpods have the Oracle Vision, but they also have a sentry warded on top and 2 regulars on the bottom as well either side. There is no way that anyone from UROC cancel that is making it anywhere near that Gold Fury pit without it being seen by the Deflalpods.
But I'm wondering if that UROC cancel that groups and just goes on gold anyway. They might not care because they want to fight. They want to fight. That's why they've drafted this really team fight heavy. Athena taunt, double taunt. There's the Sonic Boom into 2 on her ult. Destroys Fluffy Doom.
Good work from that as Mercury's made the rotation, but now it's up to the Serket. See if she can do anything. The answer is she can't. She's 3 levels behind her lane opponent. She may have the ultimate, but she's still targetable while she's in that ult now. And that's one of the big changes that's seen a bit of the decline in these full damage Serkets as UROC cancel that. Use this opportunity to try and go for the Gold Fury. There's a little bit of crit online through space and time comes through, but it's not good enough. Pot Pie actually comes through and the Gold Fury goes their way. What? I am shocked.
So
Actually, it's so good. We're gonna see it again, ladies and gentlemen. We're actually gonna see it again. Apologies for the stasis mode, but we're gonna actually see that again. So give us a little bit of a second while we get things all sorted, and we'll be right back. Pipe comes back through already. Crystalia manages to pick up one with the last breath as well. And somehow they steal away that Gold Fury. Great wraparound from Crystal, keeping the Mercury occupied. That last breath stopped his DPS, pushed the damage through, and then that spread. Very good play there from Defl. And just, U-Rock cancel that, not paying enough attention to who was there.
Well, and look at where their wards are. They've got a couple wards on bottom rights, but they don't have anything towards that red camp area of Deflapods. And they didn't stop DPS because they didn't know anybody was coming, because they didn't have the vision where they would be coming from. So they held the Gold Fury for too long when they should have been looking for the fight.
Indeed. It started off as a great idea. Hey guys, we just killed like 2 of their people, let's go. But they didn't respect the fact that Crystal was still there, still had ult, and that Pot Pie wasn't being spotted out on the map. They knew he had the Yasuo available. We saw Yasuo perfectly land into the Gold Fury and on VEL Me Daddy. Really solid team play and really solid teamwork from the Deflalpods, making sure that they abuse and punish U-Rock cancel that. And it's an even game again.
Right. It is, and that is the kind of fight that Deflalpods wants. They want to go for the picks when they have vision advantages. They want to try to catch somebody out, but they don't want to take 5v5s because their team isn't as good with that.
Not in the slightest. But these small corridors in the jungle do work very well for both of these teams, in terms of if they do manage to get
on the right-hand side, that was a sonic boom all the way under tower, but caged him in, but the Phantom's gonna work, and Dwarven might be dead again.
Is it still going on it? I feel like a bit of miscommunication option there. Sonic Boom comes through as well, just to secure it. Popeyes made the rotation, pushes Guan incredibly low, but Athena's now taunting in. Zhong's made the rotation as well, but Circuit's on her way. Until then, Popeyes just gonna have to get himself out. But he can walk through walls, so he's fine.
Circuit's here, though. She's going super aggressive, walks into the full Zhong ult. Made you look, does about half of her health. And that's an Athena all the way dashing to the back of the tier 1 tower. There's no follow-up.
Last breath was used. Athena put very low from the unstable vortex coming through. But like you said, there was just no follow-up from either side. And I feel like U-Rock cancel that are just getting a bit too greedy with these things. And they're not communicating what they're trying to do. We saw VEL Sonic Boom under the tower, or dash under the tower, gets stuck in an awkward situation. As Guan Yu again goes aggressively, forcing Popeye back out of the situation. Now 3v3. Guan kind of went the wrong way there, buddy, so you're going to get punished.
Crystal just really wants to kill Guan, because he spent probably a good 2 minutes sitting over in that lane during that fight, trying to kill Guan. And I understand he's really tanky, but at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to take the win, because he really did defend it very well, walk away, and go kill some camps.
I can see that. He's still only a level behind, but it is still against the Mercury, so it's about a level and a half now, given the additional farm that VL Me Daddy has managed to collect. But I'm not looking at Pop Pie, even though his scoreline doesn't look it at 1, 3, and 2. He still has a really, he still has a lead here.
He's going for the proc build, which is probably going to be the Obsidian Shard next. He's got the Soul Gem online. He's probably going to build a Soul Reaver after that. He just wants to pop somebody with Janus 2. And it's going to hurt.
We've seen that damage. We've seen, what was it? It was Zeros just turned on a Hombats, immediately deleted him from 100 health,
100 to 0.
100% HP, immediately gone in one shot.
With a regular ability that's on a 6-second cooldown.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's pretty spooky. But you know, there's something else that's spooky. Have you noticed it?
What am I looking at? Am I looking at the Hasten Katana on Serket?
Yes, that's what you're looking at.
I thought that was going to be Heartseeker, and I was going to be like, yeah, that's okay. And then crit. Now, crit does work with the Deathbane, and if you do go for the...
You can criticize builds later, though. This is actually a Pyromancer pull. And this is from Deflalpods. This is kind of backwards. Medusa's made the rotation. This is a 5v5 team fight that's going to break out here.
Looks like it. Geb doing a good bit of zoning, but Guanyu's keeping an eye on it. Do have Mercury channeling the ult, but that's a big ult already been used. Zhong's forced his ult. Cobra's kisses go through. Cataclysm from the Geb keeps on her. And Athena at the back. Sonic Boom goes through 3, but only hits onto the Geb. Serket's still around the backside looking for the strength. The ring comes down, picks up 2. Meanwhile, over on the backside of the fight, Janus is getting destroyed. Has to ult himself out, but it's Serket who picks up the first one. Not Crazy picks up Alex over on the backside. Shell comes through to keep Gebs alive, but it's a double kill as no one's protecting the carries for New Rock. Cancel that. Huge ult comes out from Pop Pie, destroys out Jean's health pool as Zhongqi now forced very low as everyone else is just chasing down these kills. That fight, wow.
So if we really wanted to break down this fight, I would probably spend about an hour.
That's a lot that you can... There is a lot in that fight. That is a fantastically meaty fight to break down.
And so, you know what? I'm going to say... Deflapods won that fight, right?
Yep, they won that fight cleanly.
It was a 2 for 4. Cleanly is not the word, my friend. Cleanly is not the word.
Hey, at the end of the day, it's clean if you get out.
We have differing opinions. We have very differing opinions. So the thing I want to look at is where Fluffy Doom was in that fight. Okay, he walks forward into 2 people in the back line. Meanwhile, however, there's a Mercury that's murdering all of his damage dealers, except for his Serket, which is also diving with him, and the Odin dives with him. So it ends up with Pot Pie and Alex McNutt trying to peel for each other as Janus Medusa, which doesn't work too well, and couple that with Alex McNutt doesn't have any lifesteal, so he can't box into the Mercury. So Alex is just dying, and Fluffy jumped into their entire team as a Geb, and because you're a support, you have lower levels, so he got blown up by the On-Her because he has Executioner and On-Her passive. And it's just, you have to be careful where you're sitting with being the Geb in that position. You really want to be cataclysming your backline.
For the peel, the support potential there. That felt like 2 fights that were simultaneously happening. It was Pop Pie managed to get out just barely because of the fact that he could walk through a wall. Alex McNutt, yeah. It was also his ult that stopped the defender of Olympus. Jean was almost there, about to go up, but didn't quite manage to do it as you got cancelled out. Do manage to take a Gold Fury, and this fight's breaking out, and this is looking like a better fight for them. Cataclysm was on to 2, and Crystal uses the last breath. Pop By around the corner, picks up Not So Crazy. Zhongqi is in the ult, does beads very late on the damage there from Portal, but we'll get it. Good impale, though.
Chunks.
That was a good impale, but it might not be enough to save him. Zhong's still getting walked down, and Pop Pie just decimating now with this build, and it is, as you mentioned, that Obsidian Shard he is going to be working into.
And Pot Pie,
oh no, don't do it.
There's going to be a blink coming in. There's the Geb shield we needed. That's beautiful. That's the way you do it.
He's looking for the ult out. Will manage to get away to safety, but didn't have to expend that ult. Like, he must have known there were going to be more members from the Deflalpods around that area. They'd seen them all in their jungle at this point. There was no reason for him to go that aggressive. He expends his blink and his ult into that situation, and now the Deflalpods are going back to what started this all off some 2 minutes ago, and that's going to be this Pyromancer.
Yeah, this is a pretty free Pyromancer for Deflalpods based on their positioning right now. Pot Pie is killing people. I mean, that's full stop right there. And what I really want to see is Sweet Cold has picked this Zhong Kui, but the problem is his target is just walking through walls away from him. So what I really want to see is I want him to get the Spear Magus online. I want him to sit in his own backline. And I want him to try to disrupt the Circuit because he's got a card that can do that for him. I mean, the fight that went so well for Deflalpods, he one-person ulted an Athena, and then, he one-person ulted, I think it was Giannis.
It was Alex, I believe it was.
Away from him.
Yeah.
It was somebody who just walked away from him was out of range.
Well, another Cataclysm comes down, Ring forces out the damage, or the Phantom, I should say. Odin pushed very low, will leap away. Tower does fall, but Pop Pie's here. Does clip Mercury, puts him down to half health, as 3 people have now returned up. Circuit's here as well. Cavalry charge will stun the Geb out, but Taunt is good onto the backside. And now we just see Odin leading the charge. Guan Yu's all on his own. Yeah. Nothing that could be done there, buddy. Sorry about that.
Hey, Pop Pie did half of Mercury's health with his ult, and then cast his 2 and did half of Anher's health, and then, had a portal or 2 in there too. This is what happens when Giannis is ahead and farming well and doing damage.
He just does a stupid amount of damage. It's an awkward situation as VEL hasn't been able to find any rage stacks, as now Zhong Kui pops the Ghost, looking for it 5v1 or 4v1. Backside, we do see a little bit more damage coming through, but this fight is breaking out pretty well in favor of the Deflalpods.
Yeah, this is going to be a difficult game for Urok Cancel Out at this point, because their Zhong's in a position where he's not ahead, and he's even a little bit behind.
He's got 55 stacks on this Warlock staff, and he has a Gem of Isolation. So now he's very tanky. He just needs to get that penetration online. And then from there, I honestly wouldn't mind seeing him even pick up some defensive item potential here, even if it's just like 1. Does get to manage to pick off 1 kill, but it's still very difficult for him. VEL Daddy has returned, picks up Pop Pie the Great, and now it's a 3v1. So I take it all back. Turns out it's not in favor of the Deflalpods. It's a 4-for-2 in the overall engagement, and they're actually looking at the Fire Giant.
They can do this. There's 4 dudes dead, and they've got a Mercury on her, and everybody back, so they can't do it. But I kind of like the fire call. I think if everybody stays, they may have been able to do that. I think Guan was dead at that point. I don't quite remember. I believe even if they just had a Zhong Kui that can just tank the Fire Giant for him with his passive, they'll be fine. I think they could have done that. Possibly, it would have been dangerous, though.
I mean, you had the Stone Cutting and crit for VEL, and you had the Executioner, so they did have a lot of damage going through physically, yeah.
And on her passive is just one of those things that hits real hard as well. Yeah, you've basically got double Executioner plus Stone Cutting. Like, that Fire Giant has no protection.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, as you mentioned, Sweet Cold could potentially stay there, even if it's just to help with a little bit of his damage from his tick. Use the Exorcism to heal back up himself as well. It could things that could have been, that should have been, that just weren't. That's sad to see. But nonetheless, they will play it safely and back up.
I think a lot of this game comes down to how quickly does Alex die. Because right now he's got 0 lifesteal, so he can't sustain. He's gonna get
there's no healing.
Spanked. Yeah, he's gonna get spanked by something, and if he dies right away, his damage is gone, and he doesn't have beads for this fight. I want to see Mercury try to delete him. That's a Cataclysm.
Ooh. That was a defensive Cataclysm that looked for a turnaround. Medusa is now here in the mid lane. Looks like they are going to be starting to group up a little bit more. Still in favor of the Deflalpods here, given the fact they do have a tier 1 tower. Odin now. This looks like it's going to be that Fire Giant dance that we've seen, and with the Mercury who's level 20, that's scary to fight into. Does have a reasonable amount of crit online now, but Looks like they're just trying to bait out a few more abilities in this moment. Odin jumps in with the bird bomb. Strange to see him use the shield there at the same time. Didn't get anything off it. Does have his ult. The only one who doesn't right now is Fluffy. So this is on VR to pull the trigger here.
They have an Athena. They need to be pushing too. This is the biggest problem that I'm seeing right now. They need to just taunt people. And looks like we're gonna have a brief technical difficulty here.
A little bit of stasis, so give us just a moment and we'll get that all sorted. Channeling the ultimate through space and time does come through, and half Athena's health now. Popeye did some good damage, but isn't able to find anything else with it. Now it's just back to the posturing, and this works in favor of Urok. Cancel that. We see actually no Cataclysm through burst in the backside. Athena very as well. Phantom has been forced, but look where everyone else is. Honor is already killing people right now. VL picks up another one over the front side, blinks into the circuit, but can't find it. Popeye pushed very low himself. Will be able to get himself out of that fight, but the fight that starts and being forced by Deflalpods is just being dismantled. But you cancel that. Vendor of Olympus was used as well. What went wrong for the Deflalpods there?
I want to know how much damage VEL Me Daddy did in that fight, because I'm gonna guess it was really high.
It was.
He basically soloed Athena.
Yeah.
Or he finished off Athena rather.
Yeah.
Or not Athena.
Geb.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, he completely demolished the backside. It's impressive, though, that Gene actually ends up living there. I thought he was dead to rights. He had the last breath ticking on him. He was just running away from the rest of the team. He's been chased down. Like, he was out of that fight. But we saw two separate blink engagements in that situation. Where we saw the blink Circuit ult. We also saw the Odin blink in and ring. And they completely split up the fight there, which I thought was going to work well. But Popeye didn't follow up on either of them. Alex Manut couldn't follow up on anyone. And Geb tried to follow up on it, but that's all that they really had. So Fire Giant goes the way of Urok, cancel that, and Gold Fury quickly follows as well.
And that's kind of the problem with when you pick Giannis, right? Because Popeye can't follow up on an Odin cage. You know, what's he gonna do? Ult inside the Odin cage? Congratulations, you probably might hit somebody. You really want to use your team comp to just self-peel the
Okay, now it's 3, 2, 1, live.
All right, well, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies about the technical difficulties. We'll be working on those when we can. But for now, Deflalpods are looking and seeing what they can do to try and hold on to this. Fire Giant around the waist of U-Rock cancel that as they're starting a siege. Good blink from the Odin. Forces a Phantom. That's about all it does. Popeye ulted as well. He's around the backside, but this is not where he wants to be. Forced to beads and will portal himself out. But tier 1, tier 2 tower, I should say, is still under duress.
Jean Quilt in the back line, big Cataclysm on the front line of U-Rock cancel. That is a massive sonic boom, splits the team fight.
Completely decimates Jean-Qui now, still able to just walk forward and march through everything. Cataclysm was used. Even Alex is already in that situation, but still to nothing. Phoenix falls as well. Are U-Rock cancel that going for an end here? It looks like they might be trying for it.
They've got one sustain. They just needed to like back up and then heal and then push green waves, and they might have gone. They might have been able to do it. I think getting the tier 2 towers so that the Titan's less tanky is probably the safe call, and they don't have any other waves pushed. But you know, they might have been able to end if they were a little more organized.
If VVX Daddy wasn't the person who got caught out, then yes, maybe. But it looks like they're just going to try and sell for backdooring this tower on her, trying to put a little bit of poke out. But like you said, they do have the Guan Yu sustain on top of this Fire Giant to really just try and solidify all they want. The last, or the second to last tier 2 tower does fall. And we see full Rage stacked, and now a Deathbringer coming out for VVX Daddy. That's a lot of crit potential in just those 2 items.
The other massive damage spike, though, is Potpie just finished Soul Reaver. He didn't have it for those last fights. So now Janus is going to be hitting 15% harder. And
yeah,
plus 130 magical power. So
yeah,
Popeye just got even scarier.
Not to mention Janus scaling is there are stupid numbers with Janus scaling. So that 100 or 130 magical power is almost always. Sorry, excuse me, getting tongue-tied there. It's almost always going to be an extra 130 damage on any of his abilities, but. It seems that if he can get caught out like he did the last time and get his beast force, get him just out of the fight. Like Popeye was non-existent. He ulted into the backside, came through, said, "Hey guys, watch this."
Well, he half health on her, but the problem was he had Guan Yu.
Yeah,
so.
And also then Mercury just looked at him and said, "Hey, that's cute. Watch what I can do." Threw him into a wall and started punching him. Popeye had to beat and then bail on the fight, but. Fire Giant has respawned now. This is definitely a
dangerous contest.
This is very dangerous, especially with those mid-minions. If those mid-minions get pushed up far enough, if Deflalpods end up tripping up and losing the fight here, they can forget about losing Fire Giant. They may as well just watch as U-Rock cancel that, march through the rest of mid lane, and take their Titan.
These guys have triple blink. They need to be trying to use it. Like you could be blink ulting on Circuit with a blink Gebel and a blink Odin Cage. Your Janus.
There's the blink.
Medusa. There's the Cataclysm on a 3.
But there's no follow-up from it. Popeye did throw the ult as well. Ult comes through from the Odin as well, but it's still not good enough. Mercury pushed very low. Geb still eating up a lot of damage on her, sat in the backside, eating last breath ticks, and will fall and be the first casualty. Medusa pushed very low in this, and will get taken out by Not Crazy, but the fight is still going. Odin pushed very low, jumps away to the safety. Popeye picks up another one in this clean kill. It's a 2-for-1 so far, but minions are still pushing in U-Rock's favor.
Potpie got to free cast, and that made Potpie very happy.
He's still free casting.
Yeah, he's still free casting. That is a full health Janus that used only his Aegis, now has beads back up, and his ult will be up relatively soon as well.
Popeye. And that came off the back of the circuit. Crystal managed to get into the backside and keep on her completely out of an engagement. Mercury, though, does find Janus, forces beads again.
But yeah, Circuit did play that fight very well. She blinked into the backside, deleted the on her, like her Medusa was getting deleted, and the Hasten Katana actually did something at that point. Oh wait, she hasn't gotten anymore. Never mind.
No more crit, but she does have the fully stacked Rage, and it was a Rage crit that did manage to put a lot of the damage into the backside, and it was right after the Aegis had finished, and then it was just a case of, hey, last breath's a dot that's ticking, so yeah. That's pretty good damage. So all in all, a fight that does go the way of Deflalpods, but they can't get too much off of it. Health bar is just too low to anyone to do anything. And with that mid wave being fire minions, they don't exactly have the opportunity to freely push that up themselves.
To me, one of the things that could be going a lot better in this game for Deflalpods is if Alex McNutt didn't have that Ichavolt and instead had an Acid. Because right now he is... Because he can't box right now.
Oh, no.
He's just getting,
no.
He got carded.
Where was the shield? Where was Fluffy? Where was the shield?
Fluffy.
Crystal walks past him on no health. And Fluffy's like, bye, bud. I'll see you back at base. You can't do that. Even if there was no way that they was going to kill it with the dot there, you should be shielding that. Popeye, though, throws out one ult into the backside. Rings only hit on the Mercury, but he's just getting no focus on him whatsoever. Everyone, though, has turned back up from Euro. Cancel that. Popeye puts one in the ground already to start this fight off. It's now a 4v4.
And actually, Fluffy just did a billion damage. Jonqui ult's actually going to go off. Good Geb shield. Jonqui is still alive with all those tanky protections. Popeye doing tons of damage. Alec McNutt beaten up by Not Crazy. And if you notice the Gebult there, he Gebulted 3 people, and they were all standing on the Fire Giant ring, and they took tons of damage before they got into the fight.
That's absolutely disgusting. Also, as well as just the fact that VEL, sure, he was sat in the Odin cage, but look at how the rest of the Deflalpods responded to that. It's like, all right, he's in the cage, just back up. We're not gonna out DPS that. So they just sit back and say, you're in the cage. You can flail your arms as much as you like. No one else is coming to save. Meanwhile, we're gonna pick the rest of your team apart.
The big pick at the beginning of that fight was VL Me Daddy got deleted by a Soul Reaver proc off of a Janus portal. And if you portal aggressively, you've got to hit it. Popeye hit it, and he deleted the guy that tried to kill him.
Indeed. Well, that was all without the circuit in that fight. So just keep that in mind that was technically a 3v5 that ended up, or sorry, a 4v5 that ended up as a 4v4, and they still come out on top of that. So they're still showing that they can swing, and they know what they're doing here.
And normally I hate Gebolts that aren't defensive, but this time, a 3-man Gebolt on top of a Fire Giant ring, yes please.
That's pretty good.
It was a 3v1 and a 3v1, honestly, because Geb was 3v1ing while Mercury was getting deleted in the backline.
Very true. Well, now it still feels like this is all kind of on the back of Popeye here. If Popeye, as you've said it before, like Popeye free-casted that fight, Deflalpods win that fight. So I feel like
Somebody
needs to Mercury look for it. Yeah.
Somebody needs to make Popeye regret picking Giannis. And honestly, maybe next game you look for a Susanoo pick instead of this Mercury.
It could work. It could work. It's either that or they just need to find him. Like, Elmi Daddy's done fantastic. He's managed to get beads off Giannis twice. And it's like, that should be like being communicated to everyone like, yeah, you have an Athena, taunt this guy immediately.
Yes.
You have an Athena, taunt this guy immediately. Dive this guy with Not Crazy in the backside. Let your, like, one person's diving, have one of the others follow up. Make sure then that the last of your 3 who can heavily dive isn't diving as well, just so they can stay with the Jonqui and, you know, the Onher, just to give them a little bit of protection. But find Popeye and keep him out of these fights.
That's really tricky with the Janus, but I think he hit the nail on the head. Jean-Phi needs to be taunting people. He could just taunt a Geb right now, because you'll throw some autos into him. You throw a Major Look. Now he's lost 100 health. Now he's a little bit sad. You know, you can just use the Athena taunt, because if it's not on cooldown, it's not doing anything, and you haven't picked any character.
Not to mention as well, they have the sustain from a Guan Yu, so it's not as if it's not as if both sides are coming out of this in the same levels of poke. If a Made You Look hits off that taunt, it's pretty good, but another taunt
Gebolt on 3 people in a 3-man Odin cage, 2-man Bird Bomb, and Medusa's coming in for the Made You Look. We've got a slight issue here, technical. We will take a brief pause and come back at the beginning of the team fight.
3, 2, 1, live.
All right, we're back just a little bit before the team fight started, and I just want to pay close attention to the way this started off for the Deflalpods. It started off with just a Get Blink and an Odin Blink, but the positioning that they had for it was impressive. So keep a little bit of a lookout for that just as we set up for this fight. And it's all now, from what I saw in it, it's all going to see how Popeye can really abuse this. We saw Serket have a little bit of a tussle with VEL Daddy, but it's just looking for ward positionings around this Fire Giant right now.
Like you said, this is all about positioning right now. And you know what affects positioning? When you're forced to hold W because somebody pushed 2.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one for the Athena taunt.
You know, this can all be stopped if Athena throws a taunt, has a reach, and puts someone in combat.
Yeah.
But she hasn't pushed 2. So maybe instead of this Gauntlet of Thebes, you want to build something with a little more cooldown, like a Genji's or a Breastplate in this situation, just so you can get your taunt up more often. Because apparently, there's the Get Blink into the 3-man knockup. Majorlook doesn't do too much. Serket has blinked onto the Mercury, and look at this Janus 2 that rips through, knocking 2 people real hard.
Mercury pushed very low in the situation, does manage to get himself away, and survives on the last breath tick. Sweet Cold does manage to put one more into the ground. Alex McNutt forced very low. Fire Giant has been tanked, but Odin now seems to be the one who's taking a lot of the damage. Geb knockup is good onto the backside, but he's now all on his own. Popeye puts Gene Fee down through the ground, and more damage is coming his way. Look at the health bars. Look at everyone's level right now. Odin is forced. Oh, sorry, not Odin, but Onha is forced to sit in that awkward situation, and that's Popeye trying to lead the charge back.
Popeye is single-handedly trying to carry this fight, but the card!
Oops.
You just got carded, boy, and you are going home, because that did tons of damage. Just absolutely removed what remained of Popeye's health. That card does damage, by the way.
Card does so much damage, not to mention as well offsetting a lot, where it's a dot damage, if you use your 2 with it as well, it's like 80% of what would be the dot gets dealt in burst, which is like that. You take like 600-700 damage immediately, or you could end up in a situation where you get stunned for 2.2 seconds because that increases it on Book of Demons as well. So I don't think Popeye should have been the one who takes that portal through. Without any vision there. Yeah,
he was trying to go through and just delete somebody, but the problem was the people he was trying to delete were pretty tanky. So he wasn't able to do a lot of damage, and the Soul Reaver proc wasn't up either. So, you know, that works if you've got Soul Gem plus Soul Reaver and you can go through, delete somebody, and get a burst heal, but that's not what happened.
Yeah. And it started off interesting. It was Crystal versus VELME that I was interested in seeing. It's just that 1v1, and it came out that just because he didn't have that Deathbringer and went for the Malice instead, the crits that were just being traded, VEL was winning that just single-handedly, crit for crit.
Portal Demon pull here. Mercury trying to look for the contest. Athena's not here yet because
she's so far back.
She was back. To me, Jean-Phi is playing this like he's scared. And you're level 17, Athena. You need to be pushing to just taunt the Geb. You know, you've got an on her with Executioner, and I know he's got crit, so he doesn't want to hit the Geb, but you can just taunt him, do some damage.
Yeah, it's not as if crit does no damage to him. You see Geb blink forward, goes for the knock-up, doesn't have any real follow-up other than
that. The back line.
He is, he's looking for it. Cataclysm on 2 in the backside. Ring comes down. Athena taunts 2 people in. Producer Petrifying Gaze is good, but Yanis manages to get himself away. Jean-Qui uses the Aegis and already used the ult as well. Serket is very low and will be exercised back to base. Another good shot there from Onha, but pushes him straight into a portal. So all members from the Deflalpods are still around. VELME Daddy, though, is looking very worse for wear.
Fluffy Doom played like a Serket, and Crystalia played like a Geb, right?
What on earth is this Jean-Qui doing?
Might get picked here.
4v1 there? Hello?
What? Honor's jumping over the wall into 4 people. They don't notice him. Popeye is alone. Portal's out on the front side, though. Alex McNutt's trying
to... Mercury!
Sonic Boom! Just off the mark.
Sonic Boom was a Sonic bust there.
I see what you did there.
That's my line. But no one on New Rock Cancel that is really healthy enough to try and do this Fire Giant. They will pull it. Should probably be being pulled by this Athena, if I'm honest.
Was the Mercury ult Supersonic?
No, it wasn't.
Was he a blur?
I mean, technically he was, yes, all through space and time, comes through. Is he going to hit anyone? He hits Guan Yu, but doesn't do enough damage to him. I was following that. I was tracking that, like, Guan Yu's backing. Is this going to delete him? But no, he's far too tanky for that.
Somebody removed the tracking laser from Pot Pie's computer so that he doesn't hit Janus ults from across the map for no reason.
I mean, style points are there.
Yeah, definitely. I'd give the man some style points.
Yeah.
But no,
I mean,
back to what I was talking about. Serket was peeling while the Geb was trying to 1v4. The problem is Geb isn't going to kill anybody, and Serket isn't going to peel anybody. So you need to flip-flop. You know, if you really want somebody to be diving like that, it needs to be your Serket in the enemy backline trying to kill somebody, while the Geb is, you know, actually casting a shield on someone other than himself and saving someone's life.
Indeed. I mean, could you imagine if that Cataclysm had stopped Zhongqi from popping out and running at everyone? Could you imagine if
that percentage damage?
Could you imagine if that Cataclysm had been in the cage where 3 members of Euro Council that were? Could you imagine if that had been there to help follow up with Alex McNutt's Petrifying Gaze? Could you imagine if that had been used that wasn't on 2 tanky targets in the backside?
So I guess they're just giving up the tower here, but Popeye does have his Soul Gem, Soul Reaver combo extraordinaire. So we're gonna end up with a technical difficulty here right before this Phoenix siege. But this is gonna be a critical siege right now. If Deflalpods can hold this, they might be in the game.
Indeed, it does look like it. We do see as well Mercury having a little bit of fun with, I believe that is the Serket there. So that'll be an interesting thing to see whether or not that follows up. But I want to see the rest of Europe cancel that. Actually look to try and just keep pushing on this. They've already saved the Mercury there, so they don't need to worry about that. But actually, they do manage to completely delete one of them. Mercury, though, is going to die. But jungler for jungler. That's a lot of their structure damage gone.
Oh, Geb Blinkle on a 3 people unstable vortex hits 2. The through station is fine, just misses as the Zhong ult is tearing some damage. But the problem is it's not focused on anyone.
Zhong, though, does fall in response. Hunters trade themselves out 1-for-1 as actually we see on her just punting in more and more damage. No lifesteal for the Medusa to try and trade this effectively. On her pushed very low, but there's the taunt and there's the follow-up. That's a triple kill for the young Hunter. That should be game, yeah. That should be game.
Wait for creeps.
Do they even have to wait for creeps?
Do they? Maybe they don't have to wait for creeps.
I don't think they have to wait for creeps.
I would wait for creeps so that my Zhong or my Guan Yu doesn't die horribly.
I like this though, using the Phantom as well. That Phantom play there just keeps them alive. Absolutely love that. That's the play of the game for me. Is Phantom coming out as the fire, as the Titan is being tanked, just to make sure that no one loses anything.
I don't know. I mean, I was being real harsh on Fluffy Doom, but he did have some really sick cataclysms.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
I just think they were on the wrong people. You know, so but I mean, Fluffy Doom did hit 4 really good. Hot Pie did tons and tons of damage, but on the other side of things, Sweet Cold was out there pumping out some serious ghosts.
Yeah, even through, we saw in that last fight, he was caught in the ring as well. What's he do? He just pops his ult. He gets really low. The ring comes down, and suddenly those 3 members around him with that bang cross talon, he's healing up super, super massive mounts. Every single shot of that popping through. He lives way longer than he should have done there. Does end up falling to, I believe it was just the Odysseus's bow proc from Alex McNutt, but because there was just no option for him to have any lifesteal, he was just falling further and further down. Like, that Transcendence is great early, but that needed to be sold late for even just like a Bloodforge if he wanted the same level of power here, I feel.
He just needed any lifesteal at all. Because, even a Soul Eater, I think, would have been pretty good because he wanted to cast abilities. His build was very much, hey, my name's Medusa, I'm gonna smack you for 1 billion with my Petrifying Gaze. If you build a Soul Eater, you get some health back for that. And I think that little amount of self-peel, especially with how aggressive Fluffy Doom was playing, would have been very, very helpful for him.
Okay, well, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can vote in chat. If you want my recommendation, I'm looking at probably the Sweet Cold or VEL Me Daddy. VEL Me did really good work in the early stages of the game. He started camping out Pot Pie, stopping him getting the free farm in the mid camps. But then you look to the late game, and Sweet Cold was just... he was just decimating people when he turns up with those ults. Did have a questionable 1v4 moment, but we won't talk about that one.
I will say, for what it's worth, Yanarico there on the on her quietly did fairly well. You know, he was just kind of holding left click. He pushed 4 when he needed to push 4. His impales were pretty good. We commented on that early. And the on her kind of did what it needed to. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't sweet cold, you know, going in trying to 1v5 with a Zhonghui passive. And it wasn't a Mercury spectacularly one-shotting somebody with a 1,000 crit. But at all,
that's what you want for your hunters.
He played on her, you know, and you need somebody like that on your team.
Yeah. Silent, deadly, and consistent, I would have to say, if you wanted 3 words to describe what the on her was that entire game. But,
and he self-peeled.
Yeah, he did self-peel because the way that this comp works, he kind of knew he would have to self-peel. If everyone else is going to be pushing up because you have a Zhonghui, Athena, Guan Yu, and a Mercury, you've got to do that. And that's exactly what he did. So very much good work on that, only taking 3 deaths in the end of it. But where are you looking in the reverse coin? Well done. You rock cancel that. You got the game. You need one more game and then you're through to the finals. But Dwarven Corruption. Sorry, not Dwarven Corruption, but the Deflalpods. Where are you looking at and saying, was it a picks? Was it a playstyle? What are we looking and saying we don't want to face that again?
I'm a little bit scared of the massive damage coming out from this Zhong, and I'm a little bit scared of the Mercury. I don't think it's ban worthy because I think this game was winnable. I think Deflalpods could have won this game
if Crystal didn't quite die so many times early.
Yeah, maybe you're just a little bit concerned about not being able to blow up the Zhong in time, so you might want to ban it next time if you want to go for the same kind of pick comps. But at the same time, maybe they pick the Geb and stop you from Geb shielding someone, and they Geb shield the person you're trying to kill. It's kind of a seesaw.
Indeed. Well, it is going to be VEL Me Daddy who does come away with the MVP for Game 1. So congratulations to him. Give us a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be right back with Game 2 once we get that all sorted. So take this time to get yourself some drinks, stay hydrated on a hot day like this, and we'll be right back.
One live.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the extended delay there. We're just trying to make we don't get any stasis mode issues for this game. But the Deflalpods versus U-Rock cancel that. U-Rock cancel that, taking Game 1 already. It's now to see whether or not Deflalpods can come back with it. It looks like they're running a fairly similar draft.
Yeah, that's exactly right. This is 2 very, very similar drafts from both. But the major difference that I'm looking at is now there is a Xbalanque in play, and this character is terrifying.
Especially if he can get off to an early start. I mean, we said in the first game it was quiet, deadly, and consistent coming Dran. So if he can do the same thing on a Xbalanque, even if he's still being quiet farming in the lane, he just presses 4 and suddenly he's helping out that's breaking off of the other side of the map. So that's scary.
Xbalanque is just a scary character. Right now, this Hachiman Geb is going to get out-cleared harder than they've ever been out-cleared in their lives. And they will be under tower. In this matchup, if Athena Xbalanque plays it right. Xbalanque has more poke, Athena has better clear, Hachiman's clear got nerfed. There's just a lot of things going wrong for this poor Geb Hachiman.
Indeed. Well, the reason we say that there's just so much poke with the Xbalanque is thanks to the Hunter's Blessing giving him 15 MP5, it basically works out that he can free cast his 1 permanently when it's at level 1, because it only costs 3 mana, and he gets 3 mana back per second, and he attacks once every second. So you do the math. It all works out.
Seems like it's a net gain of 0 mana.
And a net loss of 0 mana as well. So that just bonus damage. It pokes out. Even if it's just hitting the wave, that additional clear is just so much stronger. Like, I think it doesn't even have to be hit. Geb could, Xbalanque could very easily hold this 2v1.
I don't know about that at level 1, but in general, yeah, you're definitely not wrong. The aggressive Athena dash, but speaking of aggressive Athena, she has decided to upgrade her sprint coming out of base.
It is definitely aggressive. Do lose some potential ideas here, but seeing that Fluffy in the first game went for that.
In mid lane though, Jean-Qui. Oh, pot pie. That portal was that.
Sorry to cut you off, but look, duo lane again. That sprint has been used both times. Actually, no, it was just Fluffy who popped the sprint. Hachi very low in this situation. They had to be forced out, but now that means Jean much more aggressively, and they will not have a sprint to run away with.
Yeah, this is dangerous. Now they can invade this purple buff for free. They've got so much pressure in mid that they can invade the red probably as well. This could be a double buff invade sub 2 minutes. And honestly, the fact that neither red buff is dropped, I mean, that's bad. But I mean, in general, that just shows one team had a lot of pressure in mid holding them there.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you mentioned that, you know, the red buff hadn't been taken, but you got to look and see what was happening. Yanis Pot Pie was doing low sweet cold is already. Just because of that. He will sustain himself back up thanks to the exorcism, but did force a little bit more time for VL Daddy to stay there. He has now made his way over for the rotation. Actually see Pot Pie in mid, looking to try and peek himself around, see if the red buff hadn't been dropped yet, or if Sweet Cold would still be there. But Crystal this time is going to be playing on the Achilles. It was actually the first pick Achilles for Deflalpods here. So I need to see this. This needs to be the character that runs the show, because last time VL Daddy kind of got away with doing whatever he wanted. As we see duo lane, that's not a good look for the Deflalpods.
Dark Slow punishing Fluffy Doom for stepping up. Fluffy went his shield at level 2, so he did not have roll to try to escape that, and he's going to hit 3 a lot later because he didn't get his purple buff credit.
Yeah,
bottom line, this duo lane is very far ahead.
Yeah, they could. I'm actually surprised we don't see them having zoned that wave off completely just freeze it, because right now Alex and Fluffy want this wave to be sat as close to their tower as possible. They don't want to be hard clearing this. They want the minion wave to stay as close to their tower as possible to keep Jean and Jan as close to their tower and more susceptible to ganks. But talking a bit, see Athena making her way back in, dashes in, can't get the taunt off from the disrupt, but does get it back. Yeah, actually see the aggressive Xbalanque dash there. That's just how much of a lead they have right now.
But it's the lane, right? You can aggressively dash at a level 3 Geb. That's not scary. But if that's an Athena, or if that's, you know, an Ares, you aggressively dash into it, you all of a sudden become very dead. You know, so it's matchup dependent.
Yeah, it is. Do you see a ward coming over? Fluffy did just put one over the wall to see the timer on that buff. So if they are able to get any jungle pressure, as we see Pot Pie in mid get pushed very low. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, not Pot Pie. It's actually Crystal pushed very low.
Lane, Athena taunt coming out. Fluffy is gonna fall again.
Wow.
He died in the span of an Athena taunt. He lost half of his health to one Athena taunt. And
she's not even leveling that right now. That's what's scary.
Yeah, no, that is terrifying. And Xbalanque right now only has 1 stack on his passive.
Yeah,
when he does 300 more damage. Now he's going to do that even faster.
Ooh, hello, Dwarven. Showing he can still hold the solo lane. Didn't have a great time the first time, but just punishing not crazy with his over-aggression. And that's surprising considering he even went for the breastplate as well. Both of them had recently used teleport, so that feels like that should be for not crazy there.
Not crazy backs to base, gets boots 2, and teleports back in. But the difference is Dwarven didn't go breastplate. He teleports back in.
Full boots. That explains it then.
Right, and you basically have 20 damage up on your other guy.
Sorry to cut you off there, just a sec. The duo lane is facing a little bit of trouble. 2v3 right now. Xbal able to juke out the Achilles Fatal Strike. Taunt is good to buy him a little bit more space, and the Poison Dance will slow. Actually force Achilles beads, but he's getting very, very low under tower. 1 HP gets out. Crystal again stepping up, overly aggressive into tower lines.
You know,
Come on,
bad
Crystal.
things happen when you miss abilities.
Yeah.
I think that's the name of the game there. You got to hit that Achilles ult. You miss it, you got to let it go. And he even burned beads for that too. So now he can get Fenrir ulted. You know, when he's in mid lane on between Sweet Cold and VL Me Daddy, you know, they can Sweet Cold stun him with a card, Fenrir jump stun him, and then ult him, and he's probably dead within 2 seconds.
Silver lining though, they do finally, Fluffy does get his first purple buff of the game, so we'll
True.
take that little something. I'm surprised again that neither of these teams in the duo lane are actually holding it, as we see a bit of aggression coming out. Fenrir doesn't manage to find anyone, can't find the Geb, the wiggle is good. Geb shield by a little bit of time, but Jan picks up the kill, and he's on a killing spree already.
You got to make the dog work for his snacks, and yeah, he worked for it, but he got the snack in the end, as I think all the good boys do. And this Fenrir is one of the goodest boys because he is he's put out some serious damage. It was a good rotation to that duo there.
Indeed it was. We see a little bit of aggression again in mid. Dash from Athena, taunt in, immediately followed by the Ghost. Speeds isn't good enough, Pot Pie. You'd already used your portal and you went back in for that, so really good punish there coming out. But
Well, he had his portal up, he just couldn't get to the wall.
Did he? I thought he used it to get away from the Fenrir.
No, he portaled the wall to try to get out, and he just died before it landed, before he could walk through
That's
it.
not good. Bit of aggression.
He's in
Fatal
mid.
Strike is available. Does manage to connect with it this time. Actually goes in aggressive there with that dash. Not sure you want to be doing that one. Leaps on, and out comes the ultimate as well. Not even needed. Veil Me Daddy putting in work now on this Fenrir. And this is what you want from your Fenrir, especially into an Achilles.
Right, Fenrir has a very good matchup into Achilles, actually. Achilles can stun out the Brutalize, but if he dashes at all, the Fenrir can just catch him in an instant. And your Fenrir ult is less valuable than an Execute, especially in the early game. So you're happy to just... And he has gone Blink as well, so you can Blink Fenrir ult somebody when they don't expect.
Or just blink jump them to really close the distance. We saw him do that when he first ulted over onto the Geb. He brutalized just to get and close the gap. Popeye trying to contest this buff, does have support. Taunt does push work into Giannis, but will back off. Geb's made the rotation now. Good knock up. It's a 3v1 right now. Achilles not able to find anything. Alex picks up the first kill on Gene. Popeye clips out Jibalonkwe, and now he's stuck in a bad spot. Popeye coming up big and defends his own buff. Meanwhile, with everyone else paying attention to the left-hand side, Dwarven Corrupted gets taken down, but Alex is still going. They're still going.
This looks like a pretty prime Gold Fury call here for Deflapods. I know Geb's 1 HP, but you can trade tank this with your 2 ranged carries, no problem.
That's what they're doing by the looks of it. Well, they're trying to.
It's a very creative method, but I think it'll work in the end. Fenrir is here, but his blink is down. I don't think he can close this gap fast enough.
No, he's going for it. Brutalize and leaps already, but he's caught Hachiman, but he's the only one there. Just run back to the rest of his teammates, so he'll be safe. Now it's just seeing what VVR can do with everyone backing. Oh no, Athena's here as well.
This is the world's laziest back. He was out. He could have just walked back, but he decided to try to back at his purple buff. That's a mistake that you're going to get punished for.
Indeed. Geb rollout is used. Fenrir leaps in place, gets the Unchained off, and if Taunt stops Crystal doing anything, Geb now, this is just 1 by 1 by 1. Good knock up, but VEL comes away with a triple kill and doesn't even die to the tower.
Ooh. So, everybody take a breath. All right, let's recap. Deflapods gets a Gold Fury.
Yep.
And kills 3 people. You rock cancels
backs
4 people. And invade on right side jungle.
And get pusher on this tower now as well. And they get their Jibalonkwe, more stacks ahead. And he's got his Ninja Tabi online as well. And he'll have more player damage as well. So this is just looking scary, scary. I mean, we saw the other side of the matchup. We did see that Dwarven Corrupting got obliterated with a 2v1 there, but not so lucky this time. Not crazy. He picks that one up himself. Achilles is here, but that's a 3-level difference. I'm not so sure you want to do that unless he can get the ult here. He's got the ult.
I mean, he's trying to kill him without the ult, but I'm not sure he's ever going to do that. Fenrir is just going to ult him now, and because of that Achilles passive, he's going to take extra damage when he channels that ult. Through space and time is going to
clip him.
Fenrir. but
Imagine if you had a Soul Reaver there. I mean, it wouldn't have killed him, but just
imagine if he was full build.
Don't even. Don't. That's just disgusting.
I like that. Ooh, a level 20 Giannis sniping a level 11 Fenrir. That would feel pretty good. As actually, Yanrico is gonna clean up Fluffy Doom. My man is not feeling it this game, and he has, in fact, decided to try to build Gauntlet of Thebes while he is 3 levels down and not feeling so great.
It's not a good one you want to do. Gauntlet of Thebes, when you first buy that, that's an investment of 2,400 gold. It's more expensive than either of the other 2 items, and it gives you nothing but health and HP 5 until you even think about getting that stacked. Like, when it's stacked, it's great. It's 60 protections of both kinds, including the aura. But until then, it's just a heavy gold investment for no protective return early.
Gauntlet of Thebes is one of the best auras in the game, but the problem is it takes a really long time for it to be one of the best auras in the game. And a lot of times you just want to pick up the sovereignty so you don't die and your team gets an aura right off the bat. And that is what Jean-Phi has gone for on this Athena.
Indeed, they have 3 people over here. Good taunt, immunes to knock up. Gabolt isn't available for them as Fenrir actually picks him up out of the rollout. Yanrico picking up another one. You hit the nail on the head there. You just said fetch, and that's exactly what he did. 3 people.
Meanwhile, on the right lane though, it's a 3v1 gank on a Not Crazy. He's giving as good as he's getting. He might be able to claim one back here. Achilles is
Zhong's here.
Zhong's made the rotation.
Don't back. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't back.
He's gonna catch Pot Pie, but I don't think he can kill it. Oh.
Nah, he walks through a wall. What are you talking about? He ain't catching the Giannis out of position. He was near a wall. Book of Demons not able to stun out the Bologna, and that's one of the fun things about the Book of Demons stun. It's not all in that circle you get stunned. As the animation goes round, if you get hit by where the paintbrush would be, that's where you get stunned. You actually get stunned. So while it may look just like the circle is where you stun, there is that like cone effect, similar to like the Chang'e one, where it wipes from left to right. Same sort of thing happens here with that stun.
It's a windshield wiper of stunningness, you know.
Yeah.
Chang'e hit the nail on the head, right? It's that same kind of slicey stun that goes around you. And you know how you can miss when you're playing those assault games and your Chang'e misses heal? You can do the same thing with the Book of Demons.
It's a very awkward situation. And it's a very awkward situation that the Deflalpods find themselves in. 7 to 14. They're only 2,000 gold down, but this is kind of what you
Yell Me Daddy looking for something. These bottom left mids, brutalizing on the Janus. Good stun. Defender of Olympus coming out. Looks like aggression onto Achilles here.
Oh, but Athena gets very low, eats the unstable vortex, gets picked up by Alex. Through space and time has been used. Fenrir trying to find anything with Ragnarok. Does find it, but gets shut down in response to it. Gold Fury is respawning, but because Alex is fallen, they don't quite have enough sustained damage to take this, but they're going to try. They're going to try for it.
This is risky. There's a Zhang Kui with ultimate, and you know exactly where he is because he's on a ward. I mean, you can't even kill him at this point. He's so tanky with that Gem of Isis. Achilles deletes Yanrico.
Again, unstable vortex doing work. Cataclysm gets off the mark. As we see, Not Crazy just chasing down Giannis. He will manage to get himself out. Zhang Kui's here, pops the recall demons, and he's trying to throw out more work than he can. Bologna has also made this rotation. Athena is making her way back, but Eagles rally over the top, just looking to try and follow it up, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to find anything, except maybe Not Crazy. Athena has made the rotation back, and that's the disengage now.
Stone of Binding picked up here for Jean-Phi, and I criticized his lack of taunting in the last game, but in this game he's pushing 2. He's pushing 2, and his builds are very intelligent. The sovereignty into the Stone of Binding helps his team do a lot of damage.
Not to mention as well, just that HP 5 can be pretty useful. But hold that thought, mid lane, Bologna and Giannis both getting taunted there. That was a big taunt coming out from Jean-Phi. Fenrir fetches up the Giannis, but he holds his beads and portals himself out to safety. But that's beads and forcing Giannis having to base now. Blinks forward, finds the brutalized damage, goes through the shield as well. Yell Me Daddy chasing down kills and putting it to work.
Pot Pie just a little late on the actives there.
Did he have his Aegis?
He did have Aegis, and he could have beads the Defender ult sooner so that he would have gotten through the wall sooner as well. And then he tried to lace him out. So you have to have such a hair trigger on these mages and assassins and hunters with your actives, because if you don't, a lot of times you just get punished and you die.
Gold Fury has been pulled. Hachi is here lurking around the side, but I think they're just going to have to give this one up. No one's really here to help with it. They're even going to pop Darkest of Nights just to make sure that no one's around. Gold Fury goes the way of VER. Now we're starting to get a bit of a scarier lead now. Just over 15 minutes. Coming up to the 16th minute of the game now.
Right. It looks like Urok Cancel, that's about 4K ahead. And I think it could be a lot bigger. I think Popeyes made a couple of good plays to keep him in it. And Achilles is putting out a little bit of damage as well. I say a little bit. He's nearly 12K at the top of the player damage charts.
That's scary.
And he's still 2 levels down, and he's doing that. So this...
I mean, it's 8-1 for VEL, daddy.
Right.
8-1 in this situation.
That good boy is eating a lot of bones today. He's getting his puppy treats because he is nomming the bad guys. Can I make any more really bad dog?
You can try, but at this point he is just showing that his bark is not worse than his bite. He knows how to play this just as well. Fenrir taking a little bit of damage, a little bit of poke.
A little bit, we mean half.
Hey, 60% health. He's all right. He can heal that back up. See, look at that. But
actually, blink on the Achilles going in. There's the unstable vortex from Popeye, deleting him. Jonqui's walking forward. Recall Demons triggered on the Hachiman. He's gonna fall.
The Illegals rally has been used, as has the knockup. Popeye comes through with the ult, clips Jonqui. Can he find any more? Yes, he can. Unstable vortex, but Sweet Cold into the ground. Big disrupt, and now looking for the ult. Can't quite find it, does the Achilles, but he's still chasing out this Kukulkan. Athena is there. Meanwhile, Xbalanque 2v1ing, gets the Athena ult, but Popeye puts him down. Unstable vortex, doing stupid damage. Kukulkan does come back in, but he should be put down thanks to a bludgeon from Dwarven Corrupt, and leading to a 4-for-2. And that's all Popeye, baby. That's all Popeye.
Popeye did a lot of work there. His ult
He's still
hit,
doing
I think,
work.
3 people. He's gonna kill another man, maybe.
Wow.
Oh, well, Dwarven's gonna take it, but...
Kill secured. He was about to dash anyway.
I see you, Popeye. Popeye he may only have 9,000 damage, but every single ounce of his damage has been an unstable vortex that has leaded to somebody dying. Yeah. Except for the ones he's like clearing weight and stuff. But you know.
Yeah, but
I digress.
No, that's minion damage. This is player damage we're talking about. And even if he is poking out, there's not the same level of sustain from what we saw last game. It's not a Guan Yu who can heal everything up in the backside. This damage is damage that is staying. And that's the big difference. And Popeye's still playing as well as he was last game. And I feel like VEL Daddy doesn't quite have the same control potential to get to this Janus. Mercury is okay with the special delivery pulling him away from the wall and with the ultimate to get to him. But Fenrir doesn't have that same mobility surprise factor, and he can't follow him as well.
I almost think this Fenrir is basically a Serket.
Yeah.
And we weren't around for the bans phase, but Serket was banned in the first phase. And, you know, this blink Fenrir feels like I want to blink, jump, brutalize, and be able to catch somebody when they run away really far.
Yeah, well, looking for a Pyromancer. Fenrir again looking for Popeye this time. Will portal himself away as Jonqui now doing work onto 3 in the front line. Picks up Crystal already. Geb stunned out. Cataclysms 2, but it's not good enough. Fenrir has picked up the Geb, but it's not looking for it through space. And time comes through and clips out one player incredibly low already. But Fluffy Doom is the one who falls. Janus pulls himself away as Bologna still 4v1 or 3v1ing here. Will use that portal to get to safety. And now Popeye is in an awkward spot trying to peel for the rest of his team.
Meanwhile, on left lane, however, Xbalanque Yanrico is destroying Alex McNutt, taking a tower, zoned him under his tier 2, and almost soloed him in the process. This was a 4v4, and Popeye got poked out so hard at the beginning of it that he wasn't involved in this fight.
But I love seeing what we saw there from that. VEL Daddy wasn't looking at anybody else. He was just, where's Janus? Give me Janus. Force Janus to have to deal with me, rather than stays. He's going to back. He's not going to be able to back. Lazy backing. Gets caught. And Yanrico picks that one up. And they should be getting Pyromancer here as well.
If Popeye fixes the lazy backing issue, he is 4-1-8 right now.
Yeah, he's 4-1-8. If he doesn't die to the lazy backs there, he is 4-1-8. As Achilles blinks. Looking for the Xbalanque, forces his speeds, does have the ult execute available, but not the range for it. And now he's just going to get run down. Not a good look
You go for the hero play like that, and yeah, you're gonna buff your damage numbers, and you might even kill the guy. But at the end of the day, you're trading 1 for 1, and you're not really that happy about it.
No, but it does look like a bit of a bait going. Geb pulled far out of position just to make sure he stays away from the rest of the team. Actually, Cataclysm's on 1. 2-man taunt is good, and now the rest of the re-rock cancel that are following up. Oh, this is bad.
Cullen makes the rotations, gonna clean him up. There's a good.
Oh no! Don't do it.
But Fenrir brutalizes through it.
And he has a
vortex misses there.
I love this pickup. I don't often like seeing Bracer of Undoing, but that is a fantastic time to do it. But we'll talk about that in a bit. As Jean-Qui's looking to try and chase them down, does manage to find Popeye with the last tick of the Ghost. And Belono, who's trying to peel for him, is just going to get run down as well. Has to stop because of Darkest of Night. And now VEL. All right, Sweet Cold, you can take that one.
This is becoming very difficult for Deflalpods to have a chance.
You know what surprises me?
What?
VL Me Daddy has not once laugh spammed or spam taunted or anything, despite the name. That
Maybe
feels
you've got
wrong.
him muted already.
Oh, well, Achilles looking to try and find it, gets stuck in an awkward spot. Pushed very low already, and now he's being chased down by the dog like a dog. Blinks forwards. Ragnarok picks that one up with the damage alone. And Fire Giant now.
You cancel that.
No, one of the teams is called Ragnarok. I see what you did there. Ha 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 ha. You're so funny.
That's what everyone tells me. In that exact tone of voice, too.
I wonder why.
It's because I'm funny, obviously. That's what they're telling me. Nobody would lie to me. Like, why would
I mean, this is the internet. Why would you go onto the internet and just lie like that to somebody?
You don't lie to me, do you, Supersonic?
No, of course not. Of course not.
I feel like you're lying.
Nah, I'm not lying. But that's the thing. That's the thing about a dishonest person. You can trust a dishonest person to lie, but you can't trust an honest person because you don't know if they are lying. Captain Jack Sparrow.
That's twisted logic right there.
It is. But going back to what I wanted to talk about with twisted logic, Bracer of Undoing for VL Me Daddy. He's getting bursted by this Janus. This negates some of that. If he does end up going anti-healing, it's not quite as good. But he negates some of that heal, but resetting his cooldowns as well means that he can follow this Popeye on this Janus even further, but he's getting pushed very low.
Mr. Bracer.
Bracer Undoing. See what it did? Through space and time, not able to find anything. It's the rest of the team now starting to group back up. This is surprising. As the fight's been going, Achilles chasing out for the Ragnarok. Can find it! But over on the backside in Fire Giant, 3v1ing is going on. This feels
Hachiman
very sloppy.
Solo ults 3 tanky targets in the backline.
Oh,
and gets
no.
Dawn Ghosted for it. Popeye's getting run down by Janus. Hachiman's getting run down.
Everyone's dying.
Everyone's
Fire
dying.
Giant. This is just what happens when you have a Fire Giant. Sure, you don't have any real sustain, but you hit harder, you take less damage. This is just that crushing, unstoppable wall now that's being pushed in. Phoenix, I think it's still a little early to look for the Phoenix, but there's still some towers to go up for and a Gold Fury to really push this lead of 14,000 gold in 24 minutes.
The other...
I'm doing my math right. Yes, I am. That is 13,000 gold.
Just push the tab. You can,
I was
it does the math
double-checking
for you. The other reason for this Bracer, though, is because there is an Achilles, and the execute at this point is probably all the damage that Crystalia can do, because he is a warrior from behind trying to play like an assassin, which doesn't feel very good at all. So you just want to avoid the execute. He wants to pop his health out of that range. He wants to do it other than an Aegis, because Aegis has a really long cooldown. It's 180 seconds, excuse me. And the cooldown for Bracer is 120. So it's a full minute earlier that Bracer's going to be up.
And it's 40% of that health that he restores in the last 5 seconds. So if you get Unstable Vortex followed by Cataclysm, and bear in mind Cataclysm does have that percentage health damage on it, you heal up almost all of the... You know, you're healing up past a point where you're worried about it. We saw it in that last fight and how that worked out for him. So I love the pickup. And when he upgrades it, 3 seconds off all your cooldowns. That means your Unchained comes up, your Brutalized comes up. He can follow Popeye if he goes through a wall.
And you mentioned how Bracer's bad against anti-heal. Well, what characters can build anti-heal? Certainly not Giannis. Divine Rune is actually pretty bad on Giannis because he just wants to burst people. Hachiman's so far behind that he can't really build a brawlers.
No.
Your Achilles hasn't built a brawlers yet. Doesn't look like he wants to.
Pestilence, but he's not ever fighting them. Oh my god!
Yikes.
Talk about burst. That was a Heart Seeker into Unchained, forced Pop Pie to beads, and a Geb Shell as well. That burst. No. That's not fair. That's just not fair at this point.
A little bit of aggression in the mid lane, but this Fenrir's kind of pushed out. He's going to heal for 600. The Bracer pops him out of range of the execute. He's going to be able to Ragnarok out of this now from that Bracer proc.
Good work as Janrico turns up, puts one down. Popeye has returned, but he's not able to find any real damage. Meanwhile, the rest of you, Rock, we're looking at the Pyromancer. So this is going to mean that Fenrir is going to make his way back even faster. Fire Giant, though, has fallen off, so probably going to want to set up around that more so than anything else, which I think is what they were looking for, was posturing in mid to look for a pick, which is what they got in the end.
This game, difficult to find a way back into it, I think, for Deflalpods. If they do have a way back into it, I think it's going to be off the back of this next Geb item. It's Emperor's Armor. They fight on a Phoenix, then maybe with that increased attack speed, if there's a poor siege, actually Shablanki's might get caught out here.
Looks like it. Does manage to dash his way back to safety of the rest of his team. Not sure if they want to really try and pull this Fire Giant. Athena's on half health and Kukulin is already based, so they're making their way back, but they're forced off of the Fire Giant pit for now. Rest of the Deflalpods are here, and they are looking for it.
The what again?
I don't know. The Deflalpods, I don't know. You pick a stupid name like that, I'm gonna mess it up. I'm not good with names here.
This is a dangerous fight for Deflalpods to take right now. Achilles on the side. Athena's really low. She's in execute range, unstable.
Knock-up! Knock-up is good. Through space and times comes through to find a pathway for the rest of them. Fog, or the Ghosts, I should say, are doing good work as the rest of the DP are looking to just try and run away, but picking up one. Geb picks himself up and gets put down by Yanrico. Managed to get through the portal. Just about does it, but the Blink Brutalize combination puts Bologna very low. Was that beads? Was that beads? No, that wasn't beads. I thought she immune. I thought she immuned and unchained there, but still getting run down. Yanrico ends up with the final kill. Tanking the tower is Fenrir for just a bit too long. Dwarven gets the kill, but Phoenix still falls. 3 on 2 now. I don't think they have the damage to end here.
I don't know. They have a minion. Oh,
John, what? Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think they could have ended that game right there. They had a minion wave. It was a 3v3, and they have a huge lead. I think they could have. Yeah. No, we're not gonna talk.
Fountain does true damage. Don't tank that.
1/3 of your health per tick.
Yeah, don't tank that. I don't think he intended to tank it.
Through space and time comes through, knocking Shablanke down to half health, but the problem is you don't have anybody else coming through the portals with you.
Indeed. Roll out. Not able to close much of a distance. This is a full built level 20 Xbalanque as well. 10, 3, and 13 for the Hunter here. That's a scary look. It's actually Deflalpods looking to try and actually take this Fire Giant. I mean, they're trying. No one's stopping them. No one's stopping them.
Problem is, your Hachiman doesn't have that much damage right now. He's got Exi, but then he went Ichabal.
This is taking so long to try and burn down. Giannis, Popeye, throw some stuff at it. Throw some stuff at it. Crystal's zoning as best he can. Yanrico just ends up picking him up. Giannis, you need to throw that unstable vortex. And he does manage to get it finally. He was trying to save it for the secure, but it was just way too late. Didn't need to stop at the kill. Geb pushed very low. Ragnarok trying to find someone. Xbalanque around the back. VL Me Daddy does manage to secure that one. Fire Giant goes away with Deflalpods, but the fight most certainly is not.
Honestly, I think this is game right here. They can push up this mid wave. They've got fire waves in right. They can take this Phoenix easy peasy. They still have Zhong ult that they can just walk into.
And they have Athena ult as well.
Yeah.
Don't have the minions right now pushed for it. Xbalanque not able to get in. Athena's now tanking up. Zhongqi tanking up the storm. Throws out the ultimate as well. Puts Hachi very low. Aegis is good to buy a little bit of time. Beads as well, but not good enough to follow up the rest of it. Jean-Qui is very low. His Aegis, oh sorry, his Mantle of Discord gets popped. Xbalanque though is trying, can't quite get that mid Phoenix. Bit too aggressive, I feel. U-Rock went, and Crystal picks up a double kill for himself. No one, or everyone went off of the Phoenix, and we saw like 3 different people come in and tank Phoenix. Yeah. And they didn't stay on it. Like, they pushed people off, great, but get that Phoenix. It's still there.
When I said that they could end, I kind of meant they could wait for the fire waves to push in,
and then
take the Phoenix. And then if they misplay and try to defend the Phoenix, then you might be able to win.
Yanrico has a 3k pot.
Yeah, no, I noticed.
You have 30 seconds, Deflalpods, to push out as far as you can, as hard as you can, and hope for the love of God that Pot Pie can one-shot with through space and time to waste that 3k pot. Yeah. That's pretty much the situation.
Man, I don't think Pot Pie one-shots him at this point in the game. No, he's not full build yet. He doesn't have any power potion going for him. He's got this proc build, which is very different from a power build, right? So this build does a lot of damage with one ability, and to be fair, that is what a one-shot is. However, I feel like you just need that extra ounce of power from that last item if you really want to try to one-shot.
Well, Fire Giant, though technically still went away with Deflalpods. I don't believe that only is Pot Pie who has it right now, so he's gonna have to do work here. He's sitting with a fair amount of power. No, he's still got Fire Giant for me. Does he die? Did he die? I honestly don't know.
Oh wait, no, maybe he didn't.
No, I don't think he died in the end.
No, he didn't die. He does.
Oh, he's still got Fire Giant then. So he has that Fire Giant. Phoenix has respawned on the left-hand side, so there should just be 1 or 2 more Fire Waves. I'm going to do a quick check. They have 1 more Fire Wave, which is currently up by their Tier 1 tower. So I feel like that's what VR are trying to do. They want to push this now, knowing that they can. They have this last Fire Wave, and the Phoenix has only just respawned, so they want to force the issue here, it seems.
All right, totally.
I mean, it's a good... I'm going to use the expression if it makes sense. There is an issue of that Phoenix has just respawned. They can force that fight here, and if things go not great for them, they can fall back to Fire Giant, which is still about 1.5 minutes away off, so...
Geb rolls in, he's gonna get taunted. Ragnarok carries him away from his team. Through space and time, can't delete anybody. The Geb has to shield himself, and his back Cataclysm toasted.
Pot Pie isn't able to find any real damage, just too far away from the walls is everyone. Good portal. It's 4 people. Crystal gets out a lot of damage. This is a good portal. This is a great portal, all right? I'll give you that one.
Insane portal. But unfortunately, Yanrico had that 3k pot. He has Deathbringer and triple threat.
No. Yeah, he's actually just going to dash aggressively, punch the damage through, gets a triple kill. Fatal Strike looking to try and follow it, but he's just going to get stunned out. Quadra kill coming out for Yanrico. Phoenix goes down. It's a deicide. Minions are here, and this time, I don't think there's no way they can throw this hard. Like, they'd all have to just walk into the fountain to die.
I think even in that case, I think Fire Minions might finish the game, because Winions are OP. But that was a rough game from Deflalpods.
That was a ruffle stomp if ever I saw one. Just coming out from Yanrico.
It was a ruffle stomp.
I mean, you have a 17-4-14 Xbalanque and a 12-4-15 Fenrir. I don't think somehow that. I mean,
they were in the game. I think
they were in the game.
Deflalpods made some poor decisions. They didn't fight on Phoenix. They tried to go for a Fire Giant, and they got the fire, but then they lost the fight horribly. So they didn't really get Fire Giant. When they should have just fought on Phoenix with the Emperor's armor that they just finished. And they had a chance to win that game if they had been able to peel like crazy upon the Phoenix siege.
I mean, we saw what happened. U-Rock, they effectively tried to throw in those last couple engagements. There were
they tried multiple times.
Yeah, and it's just their lead was so exorbitant that it sponged all the impact that there was of, oh no, guys, we lost it, but don't worry, we're still 13k up, we still have a Phoenix down. Like, yeah, they lost Fire Giant, but Pot Pie just didn't hit it like at all. He was like, I can save my Unstable Vortex. You have to use it. You have to use it. He just wanted to save it for the final shot. item of Midgardia Mail just meant that Hachi couldn't touch him. No one could peel off of him. He did this job trying to find Pot Pie. Loved the bracer. Loved this call here. And when VEL was causing Pot Pie issues, team fights were being won so much easier. Because if there is no shadow of a doubt, if Deflalpods win that game, Pot Pie's MVP. Like, that's just the bottom line. Pot Pie is MVP. Hands down. Game done. But they didn't. And that's off of VEL causing him so much trouble on this Fenrir.
And once again, Yanrico, we didn't say his name much, but he was pushing 2 and auto-attacking. You know, left click is a really powerful ability when you're a hunter in this game.
Yeah.
And
especially
Yanrico
when you have triple crit. I mean, he was what, like 600-700 crits? Like,
but it's not our decision.
Quadra crit. Oh, wait, never mind.
So
it isn't.
We will, don't forget, guys, to vote in chat.
Indeed.
Through some mechanism.
That, I believe, is the semifinals. We will be seeing U-Rock cancel that going through. Do we happen to know, I'm putting production on a bit of a spot here, but do we happen to know who the other semifinal games where that went or not? If not, we will let you know as soon as we can, but I just want to see if we can get that from production now. But don't get me wrong, like, the Deflalpods, there were moments, there were sparks, there were bits where they looked like a good team that deserved to be in the semis here.
Yes. No, I think they definitely showed that. You know, they've got a very aggressive team fight style that works really well and will snowball them the game if they're ahead.
They just need to work on how,
even with their even.
Yeah, they just need to feel like, it feels like they've got that one record. Like, they know the moves, they know how they're doing this, they know the beats, everything. But if that doesn't work, how are they gonna actually then play around that? How are they going to play from behind? Because I don't think that this is a team that feels like they've ever had to play from behind.
No, they certainly looked very confident.
Wow.
From that game there.
So I'm just getting from production. We have a 3-way tie for MVP.
Nice.
Elmi Daddy, Yanrico, and Pot Pie still making his way even for that. So that's a pretty impressive set there. And that, I would say, that you end up with... if I had to give MVP for both games, probably just VEL. Yeah. If I had to go for both, I would go for Yanrico, just because his consistency was absolutely insane.
And you know what? I'm gonna Pot Pie's my boy. All right, I gotta give mad shout outs to Pot Pie. He was performing very well, and I gotta say, if I'm ever up against Pot Pie sometime, if he ever queues on an NA server and I see him in ranked, you can bet Janice is gonna be first banned against him, because that man knows how to push 2.
Indeed, he does. Well, congratulations to him. I do believe that production is trying to sort out whether or not we can get a little bit of an interview going with some of these MVPs. So we'll just keep vamping for a little bit on this. And, vamping, you know, we just got to keep talking while production sorts this thing out. It's like you just vamp. It's like improv.
Vamp?
So you got to vamp, and you got to sort of vamp. It's like improv. That's what you got to do. So that's what we're trying to do. I don't believe we have the results of the other semis right now. That is currently being played. So we'll let you know that in the Discord, which if you're here but not on the Discord, Smite Literally does have a Discord as well, which is where you'll be able to see all these things. But it's Backstab Esports versus No Ducks Given. Now, we've seen No Ducks Given before, but that's too bad. So I don't believe, though, production's telling me we don't have the option for going for an interview. So we'll scratch that, and I'll just ask you then, final thoughts on these games, Illy?
Well, my final thought is, I think that Deflalpods just needs to remember that they're a team. And that sounds really harsh, but they need to hold off the W key a little bit and think about peeling for each other and how you want to do it. So, I think if they do that and they peel super hard, they have a real chance of taking both of these sets, or both these games.
It's that, and whoever wins at a Backstab Esports versus No Ducks Given, look at this game and look at the way that Sweet Cold, VL Me Daddy, and even Jean are playing. And if I'm honest, ban Athena or take it, because when Jean decides to hit 2,
yes,
that's scary. But I think that will do it here for side of this. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Thank you to production of Wackee and Enum for being here, and of course myself. I'll thank myself and Illy for doing the casting for this. I mean, you gotta thank yourself. You gotta take pride in your work. You gotta thank you, because no one else will.
Wow.
Thank me for being here on a stupidly hot day in the wonderful British summertime, getting through this. But that will do it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow we will be having the finals going on, and I do believe we will be having a special guest caster who will be joining us for the NA set. I believe that'll be F. and JMac Tucker who will bring you those. Be sure to check in the Discord for when that goes live. But until then, I've been Supersonic Joe, joined by Illy, and we will see you all next time.